Hello, welcome back to Generational Responsibility. I just wanted to have a little bit of discussion on this one. I had mentioned trust circles, and basically what that is a group of people that you come in contact with, that you work together, gathering knowledge, gathering resources. Like I said before, everybody knows something, and it's just a group of people that you can trust. Back in the day, and I know, the younger people, they go, oh, well, that's old fashioned and stuff. Well, there was a lot of good things back then. I grew up in a community, 300 people. I knew every person that lived on every street, that lived in every house, and we came together several times a year. We used to grow sweet corn and have a neighborhood corn roast. There would be block parties. The, you just don't see this anymore. There are so many people that have been displaced that basically you move into an area, you don't know anybody, they don't know you. And there's just so much of that going on. So it's a matter of finding those people that you have a lot of things in common with. It's a real good idea to find somebody that you like a lot. And everybody accumulates a few friends, whether it's from work or wherever. And just discuss these things, hit some of the what if scenarios and come up with some solutions. Everybody's situation is different. So what works for one person doesn't work for so much for another person, but what benefits a community works for the community. Now, one of the things that has absolutely terrified me is I watch a lot of videos about, there's market crashes, the dollar definitely is losing value, EMPs, that, electric magnetic pulses wiping out our electrical grid, all of these things. And everybody keeps saying, if you live in this city, get out and go to a farm. Well, I can tell you, 90 vehicles pulling into the first farm on the outside of the city is not going to be welcomed. The farmers, yes, they have resources for their families. Maybe they have a community thing where there's resources for the community. That doesn't include you. You haven't put into it. Don't expect to take out of it. If you don't show up with something in hand worth their while, you're probably not going to get very far with this. They're not going to rob their families to feed your families because they know how much they need for a year. And it doesn't include you. The best thing is to get to know farmers ahead of time. If you don't know how to grow food, if you don't know how to prepare and preserve food, most of the farmers already know how to do these things. Most of them are more than willing to show you how, give some instruction. If you live in an apartment, you don't have land to grow on. If you build these friendships, if you build these relationships ahead of time, you'll have a place to plant. There are places where city people can strike up a deal with a farmer, or a farming community. They go, they'll help you as far as digging up the land for you, and then it's up to you to take care of it. And they'll usually more than willing to show you how to succeed. And that's what it's all about, is what it takes to succeed at this. So don't expect to just go popping in. I used to live 2 doors away from a church that had training classes on how to recruit new members. And inevitably, every time they graduated a class, they walked out the church door, marched 2 doors down, and came to my house. Like, if I wanted to go to their church, I would have already been going there. It's a 2-door walk to get there. You So you have to think outside of your own area. You have to think outside of what's available to you where you're at. Look up garden clubs. Unfortunately, most of the garden clubs, the ladies only want to grow flowers. I would really like to see a lot more garden clubs that include vegetable growing. They're out there, and if you don't have one in your area, talk to your flower garden club. They probably know how to grow vegetables too. And maybe they can incorporate that into their club activities. And maybe it's going to require putting a new club together, something that focuses more on food than on pretty flowers. Another resource is your country agricultural extension agent. They've got all kinds of resources as far as how to make things grow and how to preserve things. That's their job. You're already paying them with your tax money. You might as well reap some of the benefits the country people do. It's available to the city people too. Most of you just don't know it. Another thing to look into is container growing. There's a lot of resources on the internet. You can grow potatoes in boxes, and I've grown carrots in containers and parsnips in containers. Any of your ground vegetables, your green peppers, anything above the ground is a cinch. Salad, lettuce is really easy. They thrive in a container. If you have a patio, if you have a small yard, maybe you live in a place where they won't let you dig up the yard to grow a garden, but you can put container plants out. These are things that you can search on the internet to find out what grows well in a container, what doesn't. A lot of things don't grow in regular containers, but there are types of containers that they will grow in. So be creative, ask questions, talk to other people. These ideas just don't all come from one source. These are things that, I could tell you how to do tomatoes and you don't even like tomatoes. Search those things that interest you. If you have a yard, greenhouses are a wonderful resource. And did you know that you can build a greenhouse where you can have fresh vegetables all year long? It takes a little bit of space, takes a little bit of equipment or some sweat, but you can do it. It's doable. So, I'll go ahead and put some of these ideas in the show notes, so that you can go back and refer to them. Start doing your research, start asking questions, and go for a drive in the country. Farmers markets along the side of the road is a great place to start to get to know farmers. Another thing is your farmers markets in the city, where the farmers bring their produce into the city to sell. It's a great place to meet country people. So I'll let you go for now. I've already run over more than what I wanted to, but just some ideas to kind of get you thinking about where I'm coming from and maybe where you should be going as far as preparing for anything. Anything could happen. So we have a good day. Thank you again for coming to Generational Responsibility. Check out the Facebook page, and you're more than welcome to post there, ask questions, and we'll see if we can't get some people together and kind of help you out. So thank you again, and you have a good week, and God bless. Bye.